Good morning students. We are going to learn algebra and number theory. Subject code is MA8551 and today we will learn isomorphism groups under unit 1. Topics covered in this unit: isomorphism groups, properties of congruences. Course outcome: to introduce the basic concepts of isomorphic groups and properties of congruences with some application problems. Definition of isomorphism: let G under binary operation star and G dash under dot product be two groups and F is a mapping from G to G dash be a homomorphism of groups. Then F is called isomorphism if it satisfies one-to-one and onto function. Now, when do you say F is a isomorphism? Here the mapping has been done from G to G dash with the binary operation star to dot, and it has to satisfy homomorphism property and it must be one-to-one and onto. Theorem 1. Let G under star and G dash under binary operation be two groups. If F is a mapping from G to G dash, be a homomorphism and G is abelian, then prove that G dash is abelian. So here the two things was given. F is a mapping from G to G dash is a homomorphism and also G is abelian. So with the help of these two given conditions, we have to prove that G dash is abelian. Given F is a mapping from G to G dash be a isomorphism. So since you say it is isomorphism, it will satisfy one-to-one and onto homomorphism condition. So what is your homomorphism condition? F of A into A star B is equal to F of A dot F of B for all A comma B belong to G. Now take two elements from G dash, x comma y be any two elements in G dash. Since F is onto, there exists an element A comma B belong to G. We can write F of A equal to x and F of B equal to y, because the elements in G dash which is the image of the elements in G. So if A is an element in G means F of A is the element in G dash. That F of A we take it as x and F of B you take it as y. Now we have to check whether this G dash, we have taken two elements from G dash and we want to check whether it satisfies commutative property or not. If it satisfies commutative property, we can tell G dash is abelian. So what is the condition of G is abelian? It has to satisfy group axioms and also commutative property it should satisfy. Then we say G dash is abelian. So same thing here also we are finding x into y is equal to f of a into f of b. These two by homomorphism definition we can write f of a into b. This can be written as f of b into a. This is nothing but y into x. So by taking x into y we got y into x. Therefore commutative axiom is satisfied in G dash. Hence G dash is abelian. Example 1. If A is equal to 0, 1, minus 1, 0 and M equal to is a set of four elements, four matrices A square, A cube, A power 4. Then the first thing we have to prove, show that M under binary operation star is an abelian group under matrix multiplication. Then second thing we have to prove M under binary operation star is isomorphism to the abelian group of G is equal to 1 minus 1 I minus I and dot product with ordinary multiplication. Solution to the problem: given A is equal to 0, 1, minus 1, 0, M is equal to set of all four matrices. To prove that M is an abelian group under matrix multiplication, we take A square. We have to multiply first A square, A cube and A power 4. Since we need all the values to be filled in the Cayley table. So since being a matrix, we have to priorly multiply in the below the solution. So A square is equal to A into A matrix into A matrix is equal to A square matrix value. A cube is equal to A square into A. It's a matrix multiplication. We get this one. Then A power 4 is equal to A cube into A. That is equal to we get A cube into A. We are getting this matrix, and this is nothing but your 1 0 0 1 is nothing but the identity matrix. We take it as I. So we form Cayley table since M is a finite set and verify it should be a finite set, then only we are able to form the Cayley table. So we have to verify the axioms. So the Cayley table is formed, dot product A square, A cube, A power 4. Here A square, A cube, A power 4. So A into A, we get A square into A, it is A cube into A, it is A power 4. But it is A power 4 is I. And A power 4 into A is A power 5. When you take it is a modulo 4, we get A. So fill all the values in the Cayley table. Now we will check a closure. When you observe the table, the body of the table contains only all the elements of M. So closure axiom is satisfied. So here you can see A square, A cube and I are the elements from M. So only those elements you got it in the body of the table. You didn't get A power 5, A power 6. So all the elements are contained in M. Therefore closure property is true. And here you can also prove associative property also satisfied. Now we have to find out the identity element. So which is the identity element in the table? Here, when you multiply two elements, A with some element, A into E must be equivalent to A. So A into A cube is equal to I. A into E, something should be the same value. So here you can find out A into which element you are getting A. A into A power 4 you are getting A. That means what is your identity element here? A power 4. Then you can check for A square. A square into A cube. A square into A power 4 is equal to A square. That means A power 4 is the identity element. And A cube, when you multiply with A power 4, you are getting A cube. Then A power 4, when you are multiplying with A power 4, when you are multiplying with A power 4, you are getting I. That is also A power 4. So, which is the identity element here? A power 4 is the identity element. So, here I have written A power 4 is equal to I, which is the identity element in M. Next, we have to check inverse. So, what is inverse element? Whenever you multiply two elements, you should get I. So, A into A cube is equal to A cube into A is equal to A power 4. That is nothing but I. Therefore, A cube is the inverse of A. And A is the inverse of A cube. A cube is the inverse of A. Then, inverse of A power 4 is nothing but A power 4. Therefore, inverse axiom is satisfied. Next, you want to check it is commutative. So, in the Cayley table, you can see the elements equidistant from the main diagonal are the same. So, here you can see the Cayley table, the elements in the diagonal elements A cube, I, A square, A cube, last one I. So, in the diagonal wise, we get the same elements. Therefore, here commutative property is true. You can also check with some elements. By taking two elements from the table also you can check, or by seeing the main diagonal we can tell that it is commutative. So x into y is equal to y into x for every is satisfied for every x comma y belong to M. Therefore, the binary operation star is commutative. So, M comma star is an abelian group. Since it satisfies commutative group, we say it is an abelian group. So, first part is over. So, what is your second question now? Prove that M under binary operation star is isomorphism to the abelian group of G and dot product ordinary multiplication. So, we have to prove this is an M under binary operation is isomorphism. So now to prove the second part, we have M is equal to, we take all four M matrices and A power 4 is equal to I is the identity element and G is equal to 1 minus 1 I comma minus I is a group under multiplication. Then we know that I square is equal to, since G is having 4 elements like I square minus 1 minus I 1, we will square and we will get the values. I square equal to minus 1, I cube is equal to minus I power 4 can be written as I square into I square, which is equal to 1. To prove M is isomorphic to G, we define F is a mapping from M to G by F of A power M is equal to I power M. So this is a definition defining the element from G. So f of A power M, we write it as I power M. Why we have taken I power M? When you notice the elements, all the powers of I square, you get the same elements which is located in G. So it is an, here I is a generator. I is a generator we can take. So we write it in general form I power M. F of A power M is equal to I power M. 1 less than equal to M comma N less than equal to 4, because we have only 4 elements. So we have to calculate I from 1 to 4. Now take another A comma B belong to M, that is A equal to A power M, and another element B equal to A power N. So the range is 1 to 4. Now we have to check it is a homomorphism. We want to prove first of all isomorphic. So for isomorphism we have to prove homomorphism, then 1 1 and on 2. Then only we can tell M is isomorphic to G. So f of A dot B is equal to f of, what is A value? A power M into B value is A power N. When you multiply, the powers will be added. F of A power M plus N, that is nothing but I power M plus N. We can split I power M into I power N. So that is nothing but f of A power M into f of A power N. This is f of A power M is nothing but f of A, and f of A power N is f of B. So it is of the form, we brought it in the form of homomorphism definition. Therefore, F is homomorphism. Next, to prove 1 1 and on 2. Suppose f of A is equal to f of B. What is f of A? As per we have defined already, A power M is equal to A power N. Then you apply f on both sides. F of A power M is equal to f of A power N. This is a value is I power M is equal to this one I power N. Bring I power N to the opposite side. So I power M minus I power N is equal to 1. On subtracting, this 1 can be written as I power 0. So comparing all the powers, we get M minus N equal to 0. So we get M equal to N. So I can prove that A power M is equal to A power N. Both are equal. So which implies this is one element, we say A, and this is another element B. A equal to B. Since A is mapping on to B, both are equal, we can tell that F is 1 to 1. Since M and G are finite groups with the 4 elements, 1 to 1 implies on to also. So no need to prove, this implies on to. Hence M under binary operation star is isomorphic to G under dot product, such that M under my binary operation, which is this is isomorphic. M is isomorphic to G. Now we will see properties of congruences. If A congruent B modulo N and C is congruent to D modulo N, two values we have taken. A is congruent to B modulo N and C is congruent to D modulo N. Then we write it as first property, A plus C is equal to A plus C congruent to B plus D modulo N. A minus C congruent to B minus D modulo N. Then we can write in product also A into C congruent to B into D modulo N. So example, in the ring Z 1009, find 7 inverse, 100 inverse, and third one 777 inverse. Now to find the solution. So this problem can be solved with the help of properties of congruences. Since here it was given this is 17 inverse We want to find out 17 inverse, then 100 inverse, 777 inverse. So we take 17 and 1099 are relatively prime. So we find out the GCD first. GCD of these two elements must be 1. So by using Euclidean algorithm, we can write this one. 1009 is equal to 59 into multiple of 17 we should write. So you can divide by 1009 can be divided by 17. When you divide, this is the quotient and this is the divisor and this is the remainder. 59 into 17 plus 6 you will get. So 1009 can be splitted in this way, where thus remainder will lie between 0 to the divisor, 0 to 17. Always the remainder should be less than this divisor. Now again you take this 17 and do in the same way. 17 can be written as 2 into 6 plus 5. And here the remainder 5 lies between 0 to 6. Again you take 6 here divisor, then you can write multiple of 1. 1 into 5 plus 1. And here you got remainder 1 which lies between 0 to 5. As 1 is the last non-zero remainder, we have 1 minus 6 minus 1 into 5. This can be written as 6 minus 1, 17 minus 2 into 6. So just you simplify here, actually we are coming in the back way. So this 5 can be written as 17 minus 2 into 6. Here in the previous slide we have seen how to write 6 in the, here you can write how to write 17. This 5 can be written as 2 into 6, you bring it to the opposite side. 17 minus 2 into 6 is equal to 5. So instead of 5 we can write this one. So here I have substituted, instead of 5, I substituted 17 minus 2 into 6. So when you simplify this, minus 17 plus 2 into 6. Already here 1 6 is there. So when you add, you get 3 into 6 minus 17. Now you take 6 value and you write down, you simplify, you split that term. So how to split 1009? 1009 minus 59 into 17 is nothing but your 6 value. By seeing the previous slide. So here 6 is there. I can take 59 into 17 to the opposite side. 1009 minus 59 into 17 is equal to 6. So on substituting, we get this one. Now these two can be simplified. 3 into 1009, then 3 into 59 plus 3 into 59 value minus 17 when you do, you get 178 into 17. Now hence 1 is congruent to, here this value, this is a multiple of 1009, so just leave this and you have to take only the remainder. The statement can be written in this way, 1 congruent to minus 178 into 17 modulo 1009. So this is divisible by 1009, so I am taking only the remainder. Now 1 is congruent to minus 178 into 17. Now bring 17 to the opposite side. 17 inverse is equal to minus 178. Now this minus 178 also can be splitted. Minus 178 is congruent to 831 modulo 1009. And you can bring, since minus 178 value is 831, you can substitute 831. 831 you substitute in the place of minus 178, we get 17 inverse is equal to 831. Second thing, to find 100 inverse in the ring Z1009. Since 100 and 1009 are relatively prime, the GCD of 100 and 1009 equal to 1. The Euclidean algorithm leads to 1009 is equal to 10 into, you split in the form of with a remainder, you should get the remainder such that that remainder should lie between 0 to 100. So we can write this one 10 into 100. Since you are dividing 1009 with the help of by 100. So it should be a multiple of 100. 10 into 100 plus 9. 9 lies between 0 to 100. Then 100 is equal to, this 100 you take, again you simplify, 11 into 9 plus 1, and 1 lies between 0 to 9. Then again you take 1, that 1 can be written as 100 minus 11 into 9 can be taken to the opposite side, we get 100 minus 11 into 9. And this 9 can be written as 1009 minus 10 into 100. So here from first equation, 9 can be written as, take this term to the opposite side, what do you get? 1009 minus 10 into 100. Then again this 11 you multiply inside. So what do you get? 11 into 1009 minus 11 into 1009 is here. 100 minus 11 into 10, 100. So when you simplify this term and this term, we get 11 into 100. And this one I have written the same thing. Now 11 into 100 minus 11 into 1009 we got, and this can be written in the 1 equal to this one. Take bring 111 into 100 to the opposite side. We will get here. Now it is, this term is a multiple of, minus 11 is a multiple of 1009. So this is divisible by 1009. So I can tell this term is also divisible by 1009. So I have written in that way. Now I am writing in congruent. So whenever I can write any element is divisible by 1009, so the 1 is congruent to 111 into 100 mod 1009, I can write in this form. Now 1 congruent to 111 into 100. So bring 111 to the 100 to the opposite side, we will get 100 inverse is equal to 111. So 111 belongs to Z 1009. So we found the inverse. Similarly, we can find a 777 inverse in the ring Z 1009. So we get the answer 735. You can try this problem in your practice session. Thank you, students.